Hello, everybody! Welcome to the Hexagon tabletop role-playing games. This is a special snow day edition where we just got like 15 centimeters of snow, and hopefully nobody has to travel, nobody has to go out. But for those of us here tonight, we get to stay in and play a little bit of D&D. Entrenched. We didn't talk much about it before we got on stream, but how was everybody's snow day?
Pretty good. Feeling pretty festive. Got me in the
mean,
holiday spirit.
Definitely wasn't a snow day that we used to have where like, oh, no school, yeah, stay at home. I got to go to work and enjoy that.
That's fun.
On the other side, I didn't have to work, so I was incredibly happy to look at my car and be like, I don't need to do snow. I don't have to do it.
I was also on the low work side because my internet cut out, which means that I cannot work if I do not have internet from home.
How convenient.
How convenient, except for the fact that then all my work is compressed into the later half of the day and tomorrow. So that's not fun. But forget about that, because tonight we're playing Progenitors, Bloodlines, and we're going to be far away from the cold snowflakes of the outdoors, because last I heard we were maybe heading into hell. So today I'm playing with my lovely players. Starting with Simon. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name's Simon, as previously mentioned. I play the Wilm Fair, just a average, man that has potentially been gene spliced with mythical bird. He has golden, kind of golden blonde hair with faint reddish amber streaks scattered throughout. Like a very willful, determined set to his sharp face, and his eyes kind of darting around, trying to watch everything, taking everything at once. And Wilm, he might not look as potentially clumsy or as laissez-faire as Johnny, his lieutenant, but he's also gone through his fair share of clothes, testing his abilities, almost as much as Johnny, but it's just not as apparent because as one of the progenitors, he's got access to a bit more clothing than potentially others might. So like his gets delivered a bit quicker, and he has a few more sets, so he needs to repair a few less things, and when he needs to, or when they've all been overly repaired, he can get new sets a bit quicker and a bit easier than others, potentially.
Okay. Taking notes, as always.
Does the DM have any comments, or is it Tomas's turn, or is it Quinn's turn?
It's Quinn's turn today, yeah.
Oh my goodness, snow days really do be weird. Okay, well, I am playing your lovely Quintini, colorful intergalactic angel. And as the fact of the day, her favorite gemstones are opals, and that is also why her outfit has an opalescent look to the grayness. Like it's kind of gray, but then if you look closer, there's like rainbowish colors reflecting off of it. So yeah.
Incredible. Gemstone is opal. You know that means that now there's space opals.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
And then last but not least, Tomas, please.
Tomas, I'm Peter, and I'm playing the tough Tomas, the big, brawny barbarian with tough stone-like gray skin and kind of geometric patterns cracked into that skin. He's got a little weird face on his forehead that can call out to people, but can copy people's emotions. Yada, yada. We've spoken about this before. Now, the fact that today for Tomas is a little bit different than usual, it's not about Tomas at all, but it's about some of the deck of fouts. And I'm thinking that, and I'll open this up for the other peoples of the tribe too. It doesn't just have to be the Decapats, but I figure they might be interesting if some of them started referring to Bart as a progenitor, just like not really understanding, like just seeing the strength in Bart and like sort of his. He showed up and he immediately was taken on like a journey with all the other progenitors, you know. So maybe there's some like rumors spreading that like, oh, maybe he's another one or something. You know, maybe he has some followers too. So that's my idea.
It's a great idea. You want to roll a D100?
Oh, yes. You don't get to do that every day. All right, here we go. Okay, 33.
A 33. I think, I mean, that's the first third. You've also maybe heard like a rumor. If some people think that maybe he's a progenitor, some people are also saying that perhaps why not them? Why not somebody else? And I think you hear a little bit of jealousy mixed in.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. It's bound to happen, honestly.
Bound to happen or not, I'm also here. My name is Brent. I'm playing everyone and everything else. Without... Ooh, I skipped the whole freaking script. Make sure to say hi if you're in chat, and if you're new, hit the follow button. You can find all the rest of our content over at the Hexagon TTRPG, mostly on YouTube, but also on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. My goodness, everybody, a lot has happened. I was expecting our other player to be here, so I am a bit thrown, but that's okay because Otto, our dear Otto, is coming up with his own plans and his own script for how things should be going in the background. And I think that's becoming a little bit more apparent as all of you end up, coming to these meetings, going around, trying to make these decisions, and Otto is not as involved. And so are the Ottomans, as they seem to be deeper and more reclusive in the forest than the rest of the peoples. That being said, we ended last session, I think, still in camp. We had just done a deal with Hunson Dabadir, one of the Hellions, the only Hellion I think that anyone here has met so far. He came bearing gifts, most of which were good, a few of which were they seemed magically wonky, but harmless. I think there was a few. There was like a mop that always fell down, so if you leaned it against anything, it would just fall every time. There was a razor that if you shaved one side of your face, it would shave the other at the same time. But because your face is not symmetrical, it would often like leave little cuts, and other small things of that sort. But in this latest deal, you received 50 magical weapons from Hunson in exchange for some dragon meat. I think you guys said that he only took half, and he left some for next time, as basically you were going to trade it for potentially something else. But upon hearing that you had a magical moss for trade, he perked up and suggested that you come to Hell to make a deal with his superior. You guys, I think, exchanged a few words, but basically thought that that could be interesting, and so agreed to at least see Hunson again after discussing it amongst yourselves. And so he left with leaving you the weapons, taking the meat, and going back to Hell through his doorway. That leaves all of you still in the forest. I think in this clearing, looking at each other as the gate to hell has closed. How are we feeling in this moment after the first deal?
So, was that as bad as you thought it might be?
I guess not. I guess not. It could have gotten worse if. And I kind of look at my own hand as I've been hiding it before from him.
Shake your wrist out.
You know,
Should
the
we have?
pad.
Is George around? Should we have him look at the weapons? He's been quite good at finding out if there's something odd about them.
I do think George would enjoy seeing the new trinkets.
This is a good idea.
See if he can enlist some of Ozzy or one of his group to help. 50's a lot for one person.
Well, let's see how he assesses it, I guess. And I ask for George to one of my people, whichever I see. Hey, have you seen George around?
You grab a random person. Oh, yes, overseer. It happens to be one of the underseers, and you ask for George. Oh, yeah, of course, I'll go get George. And you can see that they just scurry off. Kind of a youngish man goes and grabs George. George comes a little bit older. Did I write down what his accent was? This is gonna kill me.
Oh my god, no, you did not.
Well, that's a problem. So then we have to come up with it again. Anybody remember what it sounded like?
I feel like it was a bit yokel.
I'm sorry. I wish my brain functioned.
Yeah,
normally.
my memory fails me too.
The only thing I can think of is Georgie. Georgie.
No, that's a different kind of Georgie.
You, Georgie.
Georgie wouldn't like this.
He's like an older yokel, potentially.
He was an older yokel. He was more like, and this is what a lovely pile of weapons you have here. It's Georgie now.
Does any of them speak to you, George?
Speak to me? I don't think weapons ever spoke to me through voices. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
I did not mean literally. I mean, does any of them pop out to you?
Oh, well, I don't want to do any fighting. I think my fighting days are maybe past.
Quinn, I believe that he might need to take some time with them and actually properly look over them to be able to determine this. I don't think it's just a feeling he gets.
I don't know why I thought that maybe he had like the sense of like, ooh, this is magical in nature. Sorry, George, I misunderstood it.
What? Well, they're obviously magical.
But do you know how? Like, in
Yes,
which
obviously.
way?
In which way? Oh, I'm starting to understand. You're not asking how they became magical, but what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, much like how my brooch, you figured out that there might be some sort of negative consequence to it. We were wondering if you might be able to take the time and look through these and see if there's anything similar.
Oh,
I'd like to
yes.
avoid those if possible.
Oh, yes. Well, sure. And he goes over, kind of knuckling his lower back as he walks up, and you see he starts to just push the weapons around, and then he starts to kick them, and he starts kicking some into one pile or wherever, and he's like taking a look, and you can see he brushes his hand on the metals a little bit, and he seems to be taking his time with this. how long do you guys wait here, or like how long do you watch him going about doing this work?
Oh, pretty much immediately. I'm like, okay, he's on that. I'm gonna move to something else.
No, I crouch down and just sort of like watch him for a little bit, and eventually I'll start to help him sort and ask him some questions.
Oh, thank you, Lord Progenitor. Your emotions sense something in him as he, I think that you feel like he's empathizing with these tools. So sort of in the same way that you're able to like detect those emotions in people around you, it seems like he's doing that with the tools a little bit as he kicks them, and it's almost like he's getting a reaction from it. He touches it, and it's like he's getting a bit of a reaction from it. So there's something intuitive happening with him.
Yeah. So I kind of like I'm sitting there like slab squatting in the corner, kind of like pondering, and then the little face changes into that of like I don't know how it's gonna be incredibly exaggerated, just like a super like old guy's face with like wrinkles like all squished up, and it's like really like focused. You're like it's pondering really hard.
Absolutely.
Georgie doesn't have to be that old. It's just like caricature.
He's definitely not that old.
He is the soul of an old person. Okay.
Yeah. I think he's like 62. You know what I mean? Like he's just acting a lot older than he really is.
I mean, hey, he's still like past halfway point, so he is pretty old,
What'd you call me?
You don't hear that from me, I swear. Yeah, I think it was that guy. I pointed around.
At me.
True.
Quinn, do you stick around then to watch him go through this process, or are you trying to help?
Yeah, no, I'm intrigued. I take notes as he's talking or mumbling away on what he's figuring out.
Incredible. Let's have you roll another D100 for him, and then because you're both helping him, I'll lower the DC a little bit of what I'm looking for.
Okay.
But and while you do that, we're going to go over to Wilm. So Wilm, you walk away from this. What do you have in mind?
So he kind of wants to go because they've been gone for a couple days now, a few days.
Yeah, so like a day and a half or so.
Yeah, he just wants to kind of go in and check in on each of his like group leaders. So like Riley, Finley, Ozzy, even Timmy, the guy, the kid with the talent for taming magical beasts. Just to see how things are going, because like they each had some sort of like little tasks to be handled. So she kind of wants to go and get a little report from each of them.
Absolutely. So you go around and you just take stock of what they're all doing. I mean, you find Timmy Chicken Chaser, still chasing chickens. He still has his cockatrice. Seems to have kind of like made a little like nesting area. It's like starting to outline like this is where like a chicken coop would be. He's gotten a couple other like youngish kids involved. You see there's like a young Decafout who's like helping, who's like, oh, I'll just go uproot like some small trees and we can start building a fence, like a real fence. And so that's a little bit happening. With Ozzy, Ozzy was in charge of magical research, and there's not a ton of progress, obviously, in a day and a half. So you just see them kind of like talking about runes. There's definitely like a lot of talk about how can they combine powers, right, to do those like bigger spells or achieve the level of power that you were able to achieve, right, by working in concert together. And I think that part of that conversation is like how, like when we go into battle, how are we going to be able to concentrate spells in an effective way against like the bug, those bug creatures. They don't necessarily call them voidlings. And then you have Finley, who I mean, they can't work with the normal stuff anymore, but they are like now talking to the Fae, talking to Decaphoutes. They're trying to find like other like regular deposits. But I think they're still lacking, basically in time to be able to just like build a forge, build like a big smelting like area, a workshop of that grandeur.
All right. So in that case, if Finley and Timmy both need to like build things, so go and try and see if you can enlist some Decaphoutes to aid them in this endeavor, as they seem to be a bit more handy with the construction.
Yeah, so you find a couple of Decaphoutes, and you maybe ask them for their help. Go ahead and roll me an intellect check, an intelligence roll.
13.
So on a 13, you can definitely feel that they're a little bit annoyed. And I think like on a 13, you're like, well, they obviously already have jobs right now. So you're taking them off something that they had to be doing to go help build these things. So they politely nod and say that they'll get it done, and go off. But again, I think like more and more you're coming up on the resources are stretched for the encampment. We're getting to this point where it's just going to take either like a lot more time, or resources that are much more readily available to be able to develop further.
Okay. Do I know what jobs they were working on?
Would you have asked them? Would you have been like, "Oh, are you doing anything
Yeah,
else?"
like I would have made like check to see like what the priority would be.
Yep. So they were basically on hunting and gathering.
Okay. In that case, I would probably end up going to see Tomas about it.
Okay. So
It would more be like if there'd be like people like readily available in like a construction crew or something that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you've been pretty hands-on, and you know that there's not really a construction crew in any of the four nations.
Okay.
So you make your way back, I think, and you find Tomas and you find Quinn still helping old Georgie going through the pile, and he's kicked them into like several little piles now, and you can see like Tomas is here like placing them a little bit better. He looks up and sees you. Oh, well, I haven't found any of that bad attitude, same as your brooch.
Oh,
But,
that's good. We don't want to have any of them like that.
Yes, but the other ones they seem fine. They seem good. Different uses, different feeling. These ones are colder. These ones are hotter. You look at them and they all look pretty inert. They look pretty fine.
Would you be able to explain what that means?
It's just
a feeling you get.
Yes, well, it's Overseer Quinn. Can you? How would you explain your roller skates?
My roller skates?
Yes.
Well, they're just very bulky, technological looking like, and they have little jet boots behind them, kind of like a little thing that propels me forward if I need an extra boost, or if I need a kick to go even harder.
But do they have a name, or how are they to you? Who are they?
They're part of me. They're the reason I'm able to move around. Otherwise, I was kind of stuck in the chair before all of it. So it makes me able.
So you'd say that maybe they're go-getters.
Yeah, you can call them that.
Yeah. I think our overseer has some soul searching to do, and he gives you a little wink. But that's how I feel about these weapons. I don't I couldn't tell you what the exact mechanism is, but I think I have an intrinsic feeling about just who they are, what they want to do.
Well, I think any information is useful information.
Yes, well,
Also, I
think any of the underseers could get the hang of it. Maybe I have a knack for sensing, but
also, do you still need my D100 roll?
I do.
Okay, it's a 24.
Ooh. On a 24, you can see that there's a few small piles, and then there's like one bigger pile, and the bigger pile, he kind of just like gestures to, and he's just like, those ones are more bland. They're very, very straightforward.
Hmm.
I think like they look a little flashier. Like, I think they're just like nice looking weapons. But for all intents and purposes, those are just like +1 weapons.
Gotcha.
They're like extra sharp and a little bit magic.
Right, so I assume these are the intriguing ones. And I get closer to the smaller pile.
Yeah. So which of the piles do you approach? We'll say 1, 2, 3, or 4.
I'll do 4. Do I roll or you roll?
You can just say a number. You don't know what they are.
That is true. Nah, I want to leave it to chance. Even if I don't know, I still want to roll for him.
Okay.
I got 1.
Incredible. So on the 1, you go over to these few items, and maybe you pick up the first one, and what it is a saber, like very thick, classic looking saber, with the how do I like almost like that crescent tip that comes up and goes back down into the blade. Has a big ruby inset into the hilt right in the center, with a bronze medal and what looks like a dark burgundy leather wrapped around the hilt. And you pick it up, and it's fairly well balanced. And as you swing it, you can see almost like like overlaid on reality a little bit. Like it doesn't actually happen, but you can see shimmering, hazy heat. And I think that you start getting the idea that these weapons here, and especially this one on the top that you picked up, have to do with fire magic.
Ooh. I handed to Will. I handed to Will. Try this one.
That's all right. I feel like I'm better off without weapons. I'm a bit more comfortable with my fists, to be honest.
Oh, I feel the same with my kicks. But I don't know. Maybe there's a connection once you hold it, because you kind of are more fire oriented.
So all fire-oriented things are the same to you? I'll take it.
Maybe. At the moment, I haven't learned enough about it. You gotta tell
You
me.
hear George is like, yes, I literally put them in a pile.
He'll take it.
Right. You hold this saber aloft, taking a look at it, glinting in the light. Not a speck of rust on it. Seems like a well-oiled, beautiful blade. And you, I mean, do you give it a test swing? Do you try to do anything with it? Do you want to try and find out what it does specifically?
I want to see if by holding it, I feel any sort of like reaction from the brooch. Like, is it does it feel, I don't know, upset that I'm holding a different magical thing?
Yeah, you kind of like wave it, almost like pass it near the brooch just to see kind of like what's going to happen here. And you don't feel anything from the brooch. You don't feel anything from the sword. So there's no interaction in this case.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll do a few test swings.
And as you do so, you get that same sense that, and I mean, you didn't know that Quinn saw this, but now you get that, and you see that shimmering ness as you wave the blade, and I think you get the feeling that you're missing something.
Is there something on the blade, like the handle or the pommel itself, that seems to be, I don't know, like a switch of some sort, a trigger?
Why don't you go ahead and roll me an intellect roll?
Okay. That's a 4.
A 4. On a 4, you look at the hilt, it's just very nicely wrapped, nicely done, beautiful ruby, and you catch just a glint in the ruby, and you see yourself. It's just such a beautiful ruby. And as you move the sword, that blade, you see the after image of you in the air for a second. And Georgie, oh, how do you like it? You're waving it around. But nothing's happening.
Yeah, I think I might be missing the point of this weapon. I feel like there's something there, but I'm not quite catching it. It might take a bit longer for me to fully understand what's going on with this.
Oh, maybe you should fight with somebody. That's usually the best way to learn.
I feel like that would hurt both of us.
Not me.
Not you, but I just meant the both parties involved.
You can swing at me with it if you'd like.
Is this a saber that has like a sharp one side and like a blunt other side?
Yeah, I would say so. That's like the normal saber thing.
Okay, then I'll flip it and like go with like the blunt edge and see if that still has a reaction of some sort.
Yeah, so you flip it around and go to swing it at Tomas. What do you think about when you swing at Tomas?
The after image that I saw. So I feel like that seemed like the thing that like it was potentially trying to show me. I was like, this like there must be a reason why I saw that kind of after image like form. So I was like, okay, well, if that formed when I was just kind of swinging, is that going to form again? Is it? So I'm like paying attention to see if like it occurs again, because the first time it was something else, different than the like after image of me. So like, is it going to happen again, or is it going to be something else this time?
And as you swing forward, back of the blade, you go to hit Tomas. Tomas, are you like blocking this, or are you just gonna fully?
No, I'm gonna block. I'll just use like a random weapon from a pile.
Great. Roll me a d20.
One snaps. Shit.
Whoopsies.
19.
19. You just dig your hand into the closest pile and reach up and block with a sword. Has like a beautiful like green gilding on it, some like brown. It looks like it is a little bit rusty. And as you swing it up and block, you can feel it like vibrate a little bit in your hand. But you quickly forget about that as you look and you see that there are 3 blades crossed in front of you. And Wilm, as you focused on that after image of yourself, and the blade hits, a spark, and that shimmering wall or shimmering like after effect that only you can see coalesces into a mirror image of you. And now there are 2 of you here.
I'm gonna poke it.
And you pass right through. And it just like you see like the shimmering heat like moves a little bit and then it like restabilizes.
I really need a shower to wash, I think. You're muted.
If we're clashed here and I like push away, is there any force coming from the after image at all?
So you push away and you see like Will, who was holding the sword, who was right in front of you, who is still where he was. His arm moves, and the after image's arm moves as well.
Okay.
But you don't feel like there was double the strength behind that.
Okay.
Did it move in a mirror image of my movements?
It moves very similar, but not perfect. I think enough that it might fool somebody. And that is the gimmick of this weapon, is that it makes you a little bit harder to hit.
Okay. I do want to try something though. Much the same as I was able to kind of like push some magic into the brooch. I want to see if I can potentially do it into the sword as well.
So you focus on the sword, and I want to say no roll necessary. Like, it's not meant for this, so nothing really happens. But it is a vessel for magic, so potentially, like, if you had an ability or something that could affect or manipulate things, like maybe that could be something.
Okay.
That,
No, I just wanted to see like if it was like potential to like augment it or something with like magic.
no, I think it's like you're like, oh, like this is a useful sword. It's not useful, but like it's not the most powerful thing in the world either.
Okay. All right. Well, we figured out what that one does. Where's Susie? I think we need to start. I mean, we don't have paper. How are we going to keep all this sorted? One thing at a time. One thing at a time. All right. Well, any ideas? I think we figured out what this one does, but there's still 49 others to go.
George is like, oh, do we have to take note of them all? Can't we just hand them out or something?
I feel like giving weapons to already untrained individuals and then just things happening might not be the best.
Agreed.
Like, what happens if he showed us a spear that just grows longer? What if somebody accidentally lets or activates it and it skewers somebody?
Yes, I do believe there should be some precaution related to this.
No, which is fine. I will begin checking them myself. I might be able to find a few people to help me test them as well.
So can I check in with Susie and see what she's been using to chronicle things? Like, has she been using like the back of bark, or has she been using like some sort of like papyrus, something like clay tablets? What like?
She is, basically just has a system of grabbing stray pieces of bark. There is, I think, so you go find Susie, and you're like, oh, how are you keeping track of stuff? Susie does have some paper. So it's like when you ask, she shows you, and she's like, but don't tell anyone.
Yeah, no, that's a precious resource. We're going to keep it for important things.
I got this from the Fae. I did some small favors, like I helped carry water or whatever, like very small things.
We currently have a store of weapons that we were thinking of training some individuals in their use. Potentially thinking of a way to note down what each does. However, that seems like a very large to-do.
Yes. Well, Do we have an assigned tester? Is it Georgie?
Well, George is currently feeling them all out, seeing if he can kind of put similar feeling magics together. And then the testing, well, I think that might fall to some of our more experienced members in combat.
I see. Well, maybe we'll just do it in batches then. So we can test, 5 at a time and get those
Yes.
people, and they can come and tell me their experience, and we'll write it down.
All right. We'll do it that way. Do you have any underscribes or something? Anyone helping you?
I can grab a young person and have them aid me.
That's another thing we need to probably do. Start teaching how to read and write.
It is tough without the tools to keep someone interested in chronicling, as they say.
Yes. Well, maybe the ability to watch and these tests occur might be a suitable motivator for some of the younger ones. If they show up to a couple lessons, they can watch at a safe distance.
Absolutely. And who will organize that?
Yes, another thing that I'm going to try and see if I can get together.
She nods and kind of like pats your shoulder. It's a heavy burden to lead this many people.
Well, you all have your own jobs as well, and this is the job that falls to me, then I'll do my best to carry it out.
Aye, Captain. She gives you a smile.
Thank you. Then I'll go back and I think I might talk to Quinn about that.
What do you?
Please go ahead.
So, I was thinking lessons for some of the younger folk. Should they wish to learn to read and to write, it'd be a very useful skill. And if they're not potentially motivated to start learning such, we can maybe motivate them by allowing them to participate in some potentially more exciting tasks. Should they be present in their lessons?
I mean, I think that's a great idea. The smarter our people get, the better their survival, the better the community, the more
Do
can
you
provide.
potentially have anybody available to round up? Well, I guess we'll start with some of the more willing children, and see if by having some of them excited about it, they might influence the others without us needing to put as much pressure.
I have a feeling May might be just right for this.
All right, as long as you don't think you're giving her too much.
Or at least if she doesn't want to, she for sure knows someone who might. So, I'll go ask her about them. But I do think we need to figure out also how we're going to get paper, pens, and all the tools.
Well, right now we can just use clay tablets or the bark of trees. There are other ways around paper and pen.
Yep. No, you're right. Okay. I'm gonna head out and look for her and see how she feels about this idea.
So you head out. Where do you think you find them? Let's put it that way.
Malin probably either where either with the Fae or somewhere around the camp. I feel like she probably has her favorite spots. She wanders around, or places she likes to eat, or people she likes to talk to. I'm not certain.
So I think you walk around and you take a look at these normal spots, and you don't find her there. And so you start to widen your search a little bit, and you end up kind of like circling the whole camp. You end up in the Decaphout, more where the Decaphoutes hang out. And lo and behold, is Maylin, who is in a fighting ring with a
Oh
Decaphout.
my gosh.
And she's kung fu fighting. And she's basically like having to hop around and be very agile as this kind of like mountainous Decaphout is there, just like taking blows and like making big swipes at her. And yeah, and there's a few other sparring Decaphoutes over on this side. It's just like a little training area. You can see like after a minute or so that she's breathing hard, and we'll take 5, and she's like never like rushes at him. You like does that thing where like you stop the kid. She's like
she's still going.
Yeah. And he's like, no, we're taking 5.
That's so funny. Maylin, can I bug you for a second? I do see you're training really hard, but I need just a moment.
Yeah, she turns, smiles, comes over to you. Yes, of course.
All right, so here's my idea. I want our people to get a chance to learn, kind of getting a little bit of a book smart on. And I was wondering if you had any idea of someone like you, maybe not you in case you're too busy already with the phase and your newfound training, but if you know anyone else that would be interested into kind of setting this up, sort of school.
Yeah, I mean, there's maybe Amina could do it, and she's referring to a purplish skinned, taller woman, generally very stern, but maybe someone who you perceived as being like a little bit judgy.
Okay.
Right, a little bit like why would you do it like that? And she's like, she's very knowledgeable. She could definitely keep people in line.
Maybe it could be a sort of teamwork. While she brings in the knowledge, someone can take that and make it more of a fun experience. Not to say that she's not fun, though. I give her a look like, what I mean. But I think we need more of installing a love of learning. Especially now that, there's no such habit in our times to just sit down and study. Develop oneself.
So you see she like grabs a little piece of like a spider silk towel and just like wipes her brow. She's kind of sweaty from working out. Well, I think it's hard for people to sit down and study because they don't have a lot of free time. There's I have free time right now, but that's because I end up delegating a lot to other people, and then the spare time that I have to use to get stronger because we're fighting stronger and stronger stuff. Voidlings or magic or the bloom that you guys described. What if it came alive? I think you get a little insight in this moment of like she's young and she's like worried about all the other things that could be out there.
And I start to get a sense of kind of like, man, this poor girl didn't really have a childhood.
No.
No, you're right. Concentrate on what you're doing. You've been doing incredibly great so far. But don't forget maybe to take some time to have some tea with the Fae for fun and not just for political reasons.
The fun is the political reasons. I think it's like the most eerie thing coming out of this young person's mouth. And maybe you start to see a little bit of the influence of the Fae on her too. Yeah, I think you guys go over a few details, and like I think you talk about like what the distribution of work is right now. But all 4 of your encampments, and I think we've talked about this a little bit before, but all 4 of your encampments right now, there's not any free resources, and there's 2 main reasons. One is that there's the hunting, gathering for food and resources for your peoples as they currently are, just to sustain it. And then the free resources where you guys would have been able to put effort towards something else are currently taken up with getting food for the spiders. So you have mounts that are helping you, but they require quite a bit of food. And so you got caught in this like situation where basically it's like, yeah, they made things more efficient, but they're very expensive. Now that you've killed this dragon, that took care of that for the year. Like it was so much meat, and they like dragged it away into the cave, and like so that was like, so now you guys have resources that you're going to be able to put towards other stuff. So that being said, you take this information back over to Willem, back over to Tomas, back over to Otto. Do we want to try moving into fast time, or do we want to try to take care of the voidlings, or do we want to do the voidlings in fast time?
Do we try to like get like a few months of training in for like our troops before taking on the voidlings? Or
I mean, that would be good for fast time.
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. Like
And maybe after
quick jaunt into fast time.
Yeah, I feel like you guys have proved you're like, the progenitors are strong, our lieutenants are strong, but our people are just people, and like they have limited capacity, and so it's like, okay, well, how much can one person do? And you're like, okay, well, we have to start working on that, and that's very much a fast time thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind moving into fast time for that.
I think I agree with fast time too.
All right.
But I do have to get the fast time rules refreshed.
I think we all do, maybe. I do too, anyways.
I need those rules.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do some revisions this time around. Who knows?
So many. Sorry, I noticed something had happened with the sync for my notes, and I lost a bunch of stuff. And I think one of the things that I lost, I'm double checking right now. Oh, maybe it's there. Okay, great. I still have the civilization building subfolder. Okay, so I have maybe half the notes. Does anybody, and by anybody I mean Simon or Peter, do you have the notes that CJ had sent after our meeting when we had decided kind of like what we wanted to do?
Did he send them directly to you?
They potentially be in one of the Discord chats?
Yeah, I think they're in the one of
Check
those
my old notes, if anything, but I don't know. I'm pretty spotty with my notes. That's not the right campaign.
No, he posted them.
Did we have like an official talk about the rules for it, or was it during one of the sessions?
Yeah, Brent, if you go to the system building in Systema Agnostica,
Yeah.
Go up to August 4th.
August. Main takeaway 5. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Let's grab this again. Yeah, and there was a doc. Okay, so let's open the doc. Alrighty. For all of you at home, this is what being unprepared looks like.
Oh, for the I wasn't here for this conversation.
No, you weren't here for it. So sorry, I said you, and then it was like, nope, just Simon. Okay, great. So this is I was pretty intent on following what we had decided at that meeting. I thought it was a good way to go. I wanted to test it, and then now this meeting is so long ago that I thought we were going to do this like the next session, and then we did not. And I had taken some notes. I was like, oh, this is how I should organize it on my end. And I still have your stats for your factions. Do you guys have those written down?
I do, yeah. I don't know. I mean, we can compare them.
Yeah.
Just to be sure.
And we had 50 overall to
50
use.
overall, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I got them.
50.
Yeah, perfect. And then there's still like might, brains, and skill. Yeah. So might, speed, intellect, basically the same as the.
Okay. That's how I have them split up. I have like 20, 20, 10.
Mm-hmm.
We could do a
bio break.
A bio break and go over the stuff. Maybe have a little chat during BRB, and then come back for the second half with fast time. Know what to do.
All right, I'm into that. It's 8:30. Let's try and break for maybe 10-15 minutes tops. I just skimmed through most of the notes, and I should be okay right after the bio break. I think we'll have a quick chat.
All right, we'll be back.
That
soon.
works.
Right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be right back. Bye.
See you.